So here's a video on how to install a subwoofer in this is a 9th gen Accord Coupe. It's a 2015 EX. It's got the premium sound, so it's got the factory subwoofer there, 7 speakers. You will need a line out converter, a power wiring kit, amplifier sub, and what I used was T-taps to get into the factory subwoofer harness. I did unplug it just because I wanted to see if it made a difference. It didn't really make a difference. You could leave it plugged in if you want. The brown wire on the OEM harness is the negative. White wire is the positive. You can see I ran the extra wiring through all the way down, in and around, and I tapped into the line out converter here. So I just twisted the two together, right side, left side, positive, negatives, and that's tapped in there. Power wire, I'll show you where I ran that. Ground, I hooked up to the factory ground. If you drop the seat, you can see a ground wire there. A factory ground where a bunch of wires are looped in to this one bolt that I bolted it to. You can just add your ground wire to that bolt. It's a 10mm. It's pretty easy to do. Now, for the remote turn on, I tapped this line out converter. This is the one I have. It's off Amazon. It's a powered one. The NVX Mini Lock 2. X Micro Lock 2 actually. Yellow wire. I tapped it in with the power wire going from the battery. And then the black wire to the ground. The speaker inputs. Then the RCAs go to the normal RCA spot on the amp. And then you can hook up the remote wire that comes out of the lock straight there. But what you see here is I just use a switch, and I'll show you why I use the switch in a minute. And then you have your speaker wires going to the sub. Inside the cabin, I routed the power wire through the firewall. I do have a video showing the way I did it, but it's up there following where the hood latch cable hole is. It's right above it. I had to make my own hole. I just pushed out the grommet, made a hole, and ran the power wire through, and then dropped it down and opened up all these panels, ran it through, and it's actually pretty easy. I didn't have to open up any of this. I just shoved it in there as I was going with my panel popping tool, and I just kept pushing it. You can see it's right beside the seat, but I mean, it's out of sight. And then you can actually get through to the trunk through these factory where the anchors are for the car seats. You just push it through and you don't even have to drop the seat. You can grab the wire from the other side. It's pretty easy. So the reason why I ran a switch to turn it on and off, this is the remote wire, pretty much on-off switch, is because my daughter rides with me sometimes, so I don't always want the sub going on. But if you want an easier way to run the remote wire, personally I would do it this way. Number 38, which is the front accessory, or sorry, no, it's not number 38, it's this one right here. This is for the cigarette lighter or the accessory port. Get a mini fuse tap wire add-on to this one right here, and then run your blue wire for the remote turn on all the way with the power wire straight into the amp. That's how you can do that. These have active noise canceling, so what you have to do to disable that, well, mine was a bigger job than anticipated, but the easiest way I found was pull this up, 2 screws, pull the pocket out. I don't know what is in the way. There's a black box here. It was 2 10mm bolts. They were not easy to get to, but once you drop that one piece, behind it is a gray box with a gray wire in it. That's the ANC module. Just unplug that, put everything back, and that's how you can bypass that. And then the power wire, I just hooked it up there. You can see my routing. I need to get more of the wiring loom. Here's the loom right here. I just need to add more to it. I went through the fender. I took these out so I can get my hand in there. I raised the car up with the jack, I undid the fender liner, and I pushed it through where the hood latch cable is, and then I just zip tied it so it doesn't move after that. I just need to add more loom to it, but that's how you run the power wire. It's pretty easy. And yeah, so I have the on-off switch, but again, if you run the remote power wire through the fuse box, you use this one right here, the 20 amp, and then you can run the power with the power wire, the remote turn on all the way to the back, tucking in the wire as you go. Be mindful of where the seat belt is hooked up. You could just go to the right side of it and then through. It's easy. And then pretty much all your wiring is actually back here. So the only two wires that you would have to run is the remote wire and the power wire. That's what you see coming from there. And then the only thing you have to do is drop the seat for the ground wire to get to the one that's here. It's a 10 mil. And then RC is here. And this is your signal for the RCs. I'm using the subwoofer, but you can use the speakers too. And then the best thing about using the subwoofer as a reference is when you control the subwoofer output on the factory stereo, it does help with the with how much bass you're getting, so you don't have to come back here and adjust it. All the gains can be done through the factory head unit. And then once you're all done, it should look like that. Any questions, drop it below in the comment section and I can try to help you out. Thank you.